only 30% of your revenue should come from the stage, right? So if that's the case, how do we help you with that, right? Do I tell you go over to ClickFunnels and buy a crazy funnel software and spend another $300 over there and learn how to build this and web design and all of these things, or do we just help you do it, right? So in January of last year, um, SpeakerHub added in the profile page a couple of functionalities that aren't talked about very much. And one of those is a course functionality where you can offer courses and things inside of your speaker profile. I had no idea. I discovered it by mistake because my cousin signed up for a SpeakerHub profile this week, and I went and looked at her page just to kind of see, like, let me see what she put on here. And like in one day, she had the whole thing filled out, and she had 20 courses. I'm like, how did she hack this to put courses in here, right? And so I bring this up to my team this morning, and Raquel was like, "Oh yeah, we had that functionality already." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" She's like, "She didn't do anything special. It's already built in." And I'm like, "Oh, like we're totally missing out on it." And then she says, they actually can sell them on here too." And I'm like, "Where?" And she brings up 6 people that are actually selling courses on our website. I had no clue that they were even selling their courses. We're taking the payment for it. I had no idea. I said, "You got to be kidding me." And she clicked on there and it was like, buy, and it goes to our Stripe account. I have no clue that we were selling these courses. So we just need to make it better, right? It's okay right now, but it ain't ready. It ain't up to my standard. Let me say it that way, right? We already had the testimonial and referral software inside of SpeakerHub from 2017, but it wasn't up to my standards, so we didn't promote it. But now we've updated it and it's Speaker QR, so it looks a lot better, works a lot better, and you can get referrals from your podcast or your speaking gigs based on the new version of that. So we're going to be updating that. Um, so because I know we got a lot of haters. Let me just put that out there. We got a lot of haters that will say that we stole their ideas and all this stuff, and I'm like, dude, I ain't got to steal from you. I can just build it, but we don't even have to do that because if it's already built, it was already ours, right? So as I come in here and I go to speakerhub.com/services, what's going to come up? It is people already selling their courses on SpeakerHub. I had no idea, like no idea at all. And I'm like, oh yeah, we should probably promote these. Like I know Aurora. Aurora is a client of mine already over from years ago, and I had no idea we were selling a course. But it is on here, and it's going to take you to a page you can buy it inside of your Speaker Hub account already, right? So I didn't know this, and I'm like, holy crap, we probably should make this a bit more functional and make it easier for other people to automatically put your own courses, trainings, and even get paid from your speaking gigs through SpeakerHub. So imagine being able to do send out your contracts, get them digitally signed, all of that right here inside of SpeakerHub. So it's already there. I just didn't know about it. Me buying SpeakerHub was like buying a house, and I ain't been down in the basement yet. you know, like I'm a little scared to go down. Let me see what's in this attic. You go look in the attic and they got $18 million worth of gold coins and Picasso paintings that you never knew about. And the funny thing, I was wondering, why does this lady call me all the time? She's like, hey, I got a course. I'm like, okay. I'm thinking, why does she keep bothering me about this course? I didn't know Lori actually had a course on our platform. So, Lori, if you see this, I apologize for being so aloof during our calls because I had no clue that we were even selling this. I thought she was like, oh, I got a profile. No, she actually has a full course that's on there. Now, let me give Ebony her credit because without seeing this, I would have never known. I just came to her profile just to look. Let me just see what she's doing, see if she needs any help. And she filled this thing out, and she had added 18 courses. I said, what? So the future of SpeakerHub is to not just help you get on more stages, but to help you round out your entire business. Now, let me ask you a quick question. How many of y'all know how many people visit your personal website on a daily basis? Right? So I know on SpeakerHub, we get about 35,000 people, different people, that visit our website every single day, and about 140,000 different people, unique people that visit our website every week. With that being the case, wouldn't it be cool if you had a course or something that those people could see and be able to say, "Oh yeah, I need the self-carepreneur package. Let me just go ahead and buy her $30 course, or maybe get her $5,000 training, all from one." But our traffic is driving it to, when people come to SpeakerHub, they can see your courses, your trainings, and other things. Why? Because it's another way for the event planner to try you out, right? It's another way for the event planner to try you out to see if you know your stuff. So we are 100% committed to making speakers better business owners, even if it means that we got to build all the infrastructure and all you got to do is speak. We're willing to do that up to a certain extent. You still got to do your part, right? It's still your responsibility to run your business. But if we can give you the tools and the infrastructure to make that easy, it's going to be a game changer. So indirectly, thank you, Ebony, for showing me a functionality in my company that we didn't even know that existed. And also thank you to the 10 people who already are selling courses directly through SpeakerHub that I had no clue. And the system already pays them. So when they get paid, it sends them their point and it sends us our part. I even had no idea that was happening. So I'm pretty excited about that. It confirms our thoughts about moving in that direction. I wanted to get you all's opinion about that because it's something that we're just talking about. We just had a meeting about it this morning. So my first thing is to take it to the streets. Let's see what the streets got to say about it. So Sharon, Jadika, what are you all's thoughts on us adding the ability for you all to sell your digital products and services through your SpeakerHub profile?
Well, Ron, for me, I think that's a big game changer because I'm at the point in my life right now where I need simplicity. I do not need to be going here, going there, and putting all together. So that way, being here in Speaker Hub and learning how to actually use these tools while building my speaker business, I call that the best, what do you call it, on the job training program that you can ever be involved in. I love it.
No, that's cool. No, and Karen and Leroy, I see your responses in the chat. If you have any ideas of how it should function, so in my mind, it's basically your speaker profile. You know how we talk about inbound and outbound. Outbound will always be separate because that's a different function of the business. But inbound is where people are looking for you. Maybe they're looking for your topics. So let me give you a great example of this. And I'm going to try this out. It may not even function the way that I want it to, but I'm willing to risk it and see. So let me come over here and let me go back to perfect your pitch. All right. Let me see if this is even optimized. Okay. Right. So perfect your pitch, speaker training. All right. Let's see. Okay. So right now it's not optimized for that. right? But let me see if it still comes up in SpeakerHub on here. Oh, there it is. Bam, right? So it does come up. We just haven't optimized it. Does that make sense? So this is the perfect pitch. This is someone else's thing that they put in there, but so we can, oh yeah, we about to kill this. This is about to be incredible. So imagine if the same way that it shows up when someone searches for your course title or your course name, now it's using our SEO in order to push it up to the top, right? Um, I think that's going to be super duper 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 game changing. Why? Because when you show your QR code to someone, we can take it straight to that purchase page where they can check out and be able to buy it using your QR code. Um, but imagine having a speaker profile and underneath the same way that Ebony has hers set up with her courses, as we saw on Ebony's page, where you can come in, anyone who comes and they checks you out, they can now see the courses that you have for free or paid. That is bananas, right? So this is the future. We're going to clean it up a little bit. We're going to do a full redesign of this and make it so that when, yeah, we can help you to sell those courses and those opportunities. Yeah. So thanks for the feedback, guys. If you have any other suggestions or ideas on what you like from other places where you may already be, do all of you already have a website, right? And do you get a lot of traffic to that website right now? No. Okay. Yeah, I think that's the biggest advantage, right? Is us being able to. I hear people all the time when they have a book, right? And they put their book on Amazon. So they write a book, they put it on Amazon. The person goes and they purchase their book from Amazon, but Amazon doesn't tell you the customer's name. Now, this is your customer that you marketed and sent over to buy your book. They're your customer, right? But Amazon treats it like Walmart. Amazon acts like Walmart. If I put Patty LaBelle sweet potato pies in Walmart and they sell out, Patty LaBelle don't get an email list to everybody who bought the sweet potato pies. Does that make sense? But what we will do is that we will connect you with your customers. They're your customers, right? So they will sign up on our platform to get access, but they will be your customers, which is a huge thing because they're your customers. That's pretty much the way it is. Now, we'll still have their information because they need to sign up on our platform, but we want you to be able to better service them. How can you help somebody if you can't contact them? Do you see what I mean? How can you help them if they bought it in a black box? So we want to be able to fix that and make it a lot easier. This should be the place where you come and you say, this is where I go. It's my speaker hub. I'm a speaker. I come here. This is where I make money. Not just from the selling of my voice, but from the selling of my intellectual property. Right. So I don't know if you really get the scope of it, but it's a big freaking deal in our minds as to how um, we think this could be a game changer because there are a lot of good messages out there that are held back by technology. Does that make sense? Like if you don't know how to build a web page or you don't know how to uh, get someone to build it or to know if they're going to do it right or whatever, your message can't get as far as it should be able to get. Got it? So
Could we have a bookstore?
They can put whatever product they want to put in there. It's a
Yeah.
digital product, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to limit it to it's this or that. It's digital products,
Yep.
right? So if you want to sell a PDF, that's up to you. If you want to sell Of course, that's up to you. If you just want to sell, hey, here's my calendar, give me $99 to talk to me for 30 minutes. That's up to you. We want to make it where you can sell your intellectual property in whatever format or ideation that you can come up with. And you want to sell a membership, you should have the ability to sell a membership. Um, so we're gonna figure all of that out so that it's not complicated, and it still will be apart from outbound SpeakerHub because that's still the genesis of this, right? But now when you go on a podcast, you can have confidence that you have the product that your podcast audience wants to hear from. When you go do a small speaking gig, and maybe you don't get anyone out of the audience today, but they take a picture of your QR code and then they're able to take those trainings back to their office and they can decide at the office if they want to buy 10 copies of your course or whatever for their sales team or whatever they're doing. So that's the gist of it. Um,
And
Dr. King,
also,
you want to tell us? Because it's hard for me to see what's in the chat and talk at the same time. So I'd love for people to come on and tell us their ideas so I can have them recorded and I don't forget them. But Amazon sent my book to 14 other distributors. I suggest you periodically Google your product if it's on Amazon and see what you sent your products. Okay, that's a smart move. It's needed, especially as we're building and developing multiple skills, 100%. All right, go ahead, Sharon. What were you going to say? I apologize, but I prefer you all voice your stuff on video so that I can kind of hear it interactively versus I'm not that good at reading the chat. Edge is kind of like my chat reader.
mhm. Yeah, I was just going to say that I think that this is a wonderful ideal and it's definitely needed, especially for those of us who are new because of the fact wherever, we are in our business, but there are so many different moving parts and we don't know what we don't know. And then when you were talking too, the other thing that kind of came to my mind is that for those of us, who decide to participate in that and really use it, and that's to say when it comes to sales, if it's not moving, it sounds like even like what you do with our speaking is like, what are the messages that we're putting out there in order to drive more traffic where we can get that feedback? Because the feedback, in being a speaker or whatever that we do is really important. So yeah, I think, by having this and having a focus on it, because sometimes I feel like, oh, I'm being pulled, and then you end up getting stuck and not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
So having some guidance and everything is very beneficial.
Yeah, so I have this roadmap from like if you're a new speaker, like it's a 16-month thing, right? Where you can basically go from I have an idea to I need to test it to I need to build it to I need to sell it, right? And then after that, I need to scale it, right? I need to get more people into it. And the one thing that I've always had kind of a bit of conflict with is it requires patience to be good, right? And nowadays everybody thinks that they can just overnight it. And it's like, dude, like we wouldn't do that with any other skill. Like my daughter's 3. I can't expect her to become a professional tennis player in 3 weeks. Right? But we make a decision as an entrepreneur. We want to be rich tomorrow. And no, I can do it. The confidence is great, but we still have to develop the skills to match the confidence. And I think as we start teaching, because here's what's happening. All of the people who are selling the high price courses and all of those things, they're laying people off. They're going out of business because nobody's paying these $80,000 for a course things anymore, right? It's not that courses will go away, but the charlatans are falling off, right? So the people that will be around are the ones who will continually push the message of the truth, and it's verifiable. One of the things that we tried to do was to make sure that I tell my team all the time, you always hear people, man, that's unbelievable. Unbelievable is a bad word. I don't ever want to be unbelievable, man. I want to be believable. I want to be as believable as possible. Right? If I do these things, I I can get to this point. It shouldn't be, man, right? You remember the guy, I used to always dream as a kid that the publishing clearinghouse dude would knock on my door. And you had them stamps, and you putting those stamps, and they ain't never, Egg McMahon was never coming to your house. And then they took the dude off of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek, and he was doing it. And they was never going to knock. Lou Rawls, all them folks was doing the Publishers Clearinghouse, right? And that if people would have just focused on building a little bit of revenue over time, you could remove that hope. It was unbelievable that Lou Rawls was going to knock on my grandmama's door and give her $1 million with that big check. I think the future, especially with AI and all the other stuff, will go to the people who can give you a concrete path. It's what we call gun to the head certainty. If I put a gun to your head and I said, would you make this decision? AJ, I put a gun to your head. Would you continue on your current path, your current marketing path? That person has to make that decision. Like, if I ain't willing to do it with a gun to my head, I probably should find the thing that I would do if a gun really was to my head and it was a life or death situation, right? So can we give you processes that you know with some level of certainty that if we told you it was going to make a chocolate chip cookie, you would get a chocolate chip cookie, right? You may not like the way it tastes. You may not like the process, but the process is the process. Is that fair? So we want to give you those things. So you decide to become a speaker. Cool. Start practicing your message. Now you're practicing your message. You're going on podcasts, but you're not making sales. Yes, because you don't have a product. Well, I do have a product. Okay, but you have a product without a defined outcome, right? I was talking to someone the other day and they said, well, no, I have a product. I sell coaching by the hour and they can come talk to me for an hour. And I said, okay, at the end of the hour, here's my credit card. Send me the link. I'm going to buy it. What am I walking away with at the end of the hour if I give you $300? And they were like, I don't know. I said, yeah, that's why nobody buys it. When you go to a pizza joint, Dr. Sharon, what's your favorite pizza?
Vegetable.
Vegetable, right? If they bring you, you say, look, I want the veggie deluxe pizza. And it has the olives and all of that stuff on it. And when they bring it out, they bring you vegetable stew. How do you feel? It got the same ingredients, but it ain't pizza, right? We want to make sure that if I sign up for something, I'm getting what I ordered, right? So your product should have a defined outcome, something that's measurable. So we call it MTO, okay? MTO, a measurable, timely outcome. Measurable, timely outcome, right? So let me give you the best measurable, timely outcome. Let's say AJ was a fitness trainer and he was going to work out with me. And he said, Ron, here's the thing. You will lose 10 pounds in the next 60 days or your money back. Can I measure 10 pounds? Yes, it's quantifiable. Is it timely? Yes, he told me it would happen in 60 days. You see how that is? It's very definite. It's not, AJ, after talking to me, you're going to feel better about yourself. How do I measure that? Like, you guarantee me, if I'm having the worst day of my life by talking to you, I'm going to feel better. You can't guarantee that. You may make it worse. So how do we drive someone to an MTO? Let me give you an example of this and why this is important. If you don't know where the person is trying to end up on the other side, how do you know you can help them to get there? Dr. Sharon, I'm going to use you as an example again. Would you like to visit Colombia?
Yes.
Okay, right. Now, she had the right to say no to that. If she says no, does it matter how much the tickets cost? Don't matter at all, right? But what do people leave with? Man, you can go to Colombia for $300. I don't even know if she want to go to Colombia. It don't matter what the ticket cost is if she don't want to go there to begin with. Does that make sense? So we're going to help you to show the outcomes, a measurable and timely outcome to what you're providing, because without accountability, it's hard to grow a business. Even an iPhone has an MTO. You want me to give you the basic one? When I push this button on the side, it should turn on. If you push the button on the side of your iPhone and it turned on an hour later, is that a good deal?
Nope.
No, that's bad, right? Because the expectation is when I push the thing, you got about 3 seconds before I better see a light. I better see an Apple or Android or something in 3 seconds of me pushing that button. Now, faster, hopefully, but 3 seconds is about the limit before I'm like, hey, yo, my phone. Now I'm pushing all the buttons and I'm clicking, holding combinations of buttons and putting it on the charger, thinking that the battery's dead. That's a measurable and timely outcome with every product that we buy that is successfully selling. Even a jacket. If I put the jacket on, instantly I find out whether it fits, right? When I take it out in the cold, I find out whether it's warm enough for what I'm wearing it for. But we can't have these things that we can't hold the product. We can't build products that can't be accountable. Right? Because I need to know that, man, if I put on this jacket, I'm going to freeze. If I put it on when it's just raining, I'm going to get wet because it don't have a hood. Right? So there are all of these accountability things. But when it comes to coaching, coaches have avoided accountability and pushed the accountability back onto their customer, the person that paid them for help. AJ, let me ask you a question. You ever bought something from somebody and then they blamed it on you?
No.
I have. I bought things and I'm like, yo, look, when I do this, the thing doesn't work. Well, man, it's your fault. You're supposed to click it at 2:00 in the afternoon at this time. I'm like, that ain't what I paid for. That wasn't, if I'd have known that, I wouldn't have bought it.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah. I bought courses like that.
Talk about it.
No, I'm just and I'll say his name.
No, don't do that.
I was about to say I'll say his name.
Don't do that part.
He's a dirtbag. But I bought a person's course, and you follow the course and you're like, hey, this didn't do this. He was like, oh, you didn't do it right. It's like, no, I did everything you said. And he was like, well, no, and it was like he always just kept coming up with reasons why it was on me instead of him. And I'm like, bro, I did exactly what you said. Like, and then I don't know. It was, it's
They
frustrating.
take you in a circle. Yeah. So
I see what you're saying. Yes, I have done
one of the things, even with software, when we have a bug, we have this call every day. We have chat groups where people put the bugs. I never say, man, you just don't know what you're doing. No, it ain't their fault. I sold them the product. So you know what I say? Cool, let me get my team to look at it. Why? Because it's our responsibility. So all I'm saying is we will help you to sell courses only if they meet our standard. Let me say it again. We will let you sell courses on our platform if they meet our standard, which is it drives somebody towards something that has a measurable outcome. Why? Because they will be buying it from SpeakerHub and they will be blaming us. I bought that course off of SpeakerHub from Leroy, and he told me I was going to make $1 million, and I only made $999,099. I was $1 off, right? No, that's not a bad deal, but we want to make sure that people are getting what they're paying for. Now, that's going to require us to have, at the beginning, huge quality control of people going through your course and looking over your stuff. If I went to Harvard tomorrow and I said, I want to be an adjunct professor on sales and outreach, do you think they're not going to look over my curriculum? That's what makes them Harvard. Do you think they're not going to say, Ron, we need to talk to you for a minute before you put this junk up on our page? That's what makes them Harvard. So we're going to implement very similar standards to where we want the best teaching the best. Now, how many of y'all in here believe, here's the question, listen very carefully, believe that you can be the best if you already aren't? If you're not the best right now, do you think given enough time you could be top tier? And what I mean by the best is you're in the top 10% of people that do what you do. Because there's no objective best, like 100% this person is better than that person. But in a range of the top 10% of your practitioners, that's our standard. I need you in the 90 percentile, right? That's what we're going to hold you to with these courses because I want you to win. We're going to promote this. We got traffic. Our customers are going to be coming, looking at your stuff, saying, I need that self-preneur thing, right? I need Leroy's training. So Dr. Karen, what's your question?
Ron, in addition to your quality assurance, shouldn't there always, like even for my programs, I have a disclaimer because the results of even coming through one of my programs will vary based on the effort of the participant as well. So they can follow A, B, C, D, but if they don't do certain things that are required in addition to following the systematic things that they should do, they won't get a particular effort that they are trying to get that is guaranteed. So there is a partnership that's involved. And so I make sure that I have a disclaimer saying that because of that partnership, that results may vary based on the participation of the
100%.
individual.
There will always be some legal disclaimer on that side. Let me give you the example of how I think about this. Dr. Karen, do you like pizza?
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you have a favorite pizza spot?
Spot? Yes, Marco's.
Margot's, right? Have you ever had Little Caesars?
Absolutely.
Right? Is Little Caesars better than Margot's to you?
No.
Okay. Margot's is the best in your opinion, right?
In my opinion, yes.
So what that shows is that sometimes we can order what we want, which is a pepperoni pizza. They may bring it to us. We will still pay for it, even if we don't like it, as long as it resembles what we pay for. If I order pepperoni pizza and they brought me a chef salad, I'm not paying for that chef salad because I ordered pizza. I don't have to like the pizza once I get home. That just means I'm not going to order it again. But we got to give people something that resembles what they paid for.
Absolutely.
That's what our standard is. So
okay.
Your coaching style, everybody ain't going to like me. Some people like Arel Moody better. They like Stan Pearson better. They like Tony Robbins better. They like these other speaker coaches a lot better than they like me because of my brash hood attitude about things. I'm okay with the folks who want to hear me. These my people, right? But some people will come over and say, yeah, I like SpeakerHub, but I'm gonna go do this thing too. Cool. When you were there, did you get what you paid for? Yeah, he gave us the software, he gave us the stuff, all of the stuff did the right things. So he did deliver what he promised me. Did I get the results? Yeah, I just went into sending emails every day. But when I did do the emails, the ratios matched exactly what he told me it was going to be. I'm okay with that. So I'm not saying everyone needs to be happy. I'm saying everyone needs to get what they paid for.
Understood.
Did that clarify
Yes,
it a bit?
absolutely.
Okay, cool. Because that's our standard. Give people what they paid for, or don't make the claim. You ain't gotta like it. You ain't gotta like the process. But if the process is followed, do they get something that resembled what they were expecting? Right? So that's what we're looking at. And we won't be that critical because on your own page you can promote whatever you want. But if we're gonna promote your product, meaning we're gonna do some marketing behind it, we're sending out an email this weekend for a product that I believe in from Kim Coles. We did a interview with her. I did an interview with her on Wednesday about her teaching speakers how to be better on stage. Right? So we'll be sending out that interview. Whether you all buy it or not has nothing to do with me. But I trust her and her 40 years of being on stage as a comedian and being on television as an actor to know that she probably could teach you how to better act. Right? Because when you're on stage, you're really kind of acting a bit. Right? So if we're going to promote things like that, like with AJ, I know what AJ does. I've been to his events. So in January, when we send out an email talking about what AJ is doing, right? It's because I know that if you follow what he says with small groups, you will get the results. Why? Because I've been to 2 of his events, live and in person to see. See, you know what he's talking about. The people in here cursing him out. Is he really teaching or they just down here going to restaurants? Right? So we got to verify. Like look, don't nobody care about me as much as me. Okay? So if my name gonna be associated with it, it's gonna be right. Right? So, but that's what we're trying to do. We want to make you all, Dr. Karen, I think that your message can be in front of a lot more people that you can help. Right? And if there's anything we can do to help you to get that message out there, we will. Sharon, Dr. Brown, or Sharon D. Brown, I'm sorry. But Sharon, we will help you to help more entrepreneurs take care of themselves. As long as you want us to, right? But that's our job. What's the difference between a system and a platform? I'll tell you what it is. If you go and you use a piece of software that only allows you to do something, let's say like Stripe. Stripe, in one sense, allows you just to take payment. Does that make sense? That would be the Stripe software. The Stripe platform allows you to build their payments thing into your software. So a platform is something that allows you to elevate off of what they've already built. Does that make sense? So right now, SpeakerHub is just software. It's really not a platform just yet to launch people at a higher level to use what we brought to the table. We're going to change it into a launching platform for speaking careers. Does that make sense? So when you have your own website with your own e-courses, that is a product. When you join Shopify or these platforms that bring a bunch of traffic to you, or you put your video on YouTube, YouTube is a platform that allows you to get your stuff in front of their people. That's the future of SpeakerHub. Nobody can beat us at it, because you know why? If any of our competition did this tomorrow, they start with 0 users. We start with 63,000. We're already cheating. We're gonna win at this, I promise you. Right? So we can give you the data and we can give you the exposure. to our traffic with your products and with your services, what other excuse do we have? There's no better place to win. Yeah, so take it to the bank. I promise you. This is what we're building, and it's going to be freaking incredible. So, any other thoughts and feedback so far? I know I've been kind of going on, but I'm super duper excited about the future of SpeakerHub and the future of what we're doing with our speakers to help to further our mission. This is selfish. My mission is to combat Sexy Red and all the rest of these folks out here that's putting this negative garbage music out. They got iTunes. Y'all got SpeakerHub. Now I got something else that was presented to me that was pretty interesting. This guy was like, dude, why don't you have your speakers to put their ebooks or their speeches on iTunes and Spotify? Just like they put the rap music. So imagine being able to ride in your car and get to hear an hour-long speech from Dr. Sharon on self-care, not as a podcast, but just like music. And you got paid, and people are able to get paid music royalties on your voice. Every time Michael Buffer says, "Let's get ready to rumble," he gets paid. He owns that intellectual property. If they put it in a song, he gets paid. Right? So we're going to figure out a way to monetize your intellectual property, whether it's through ebooks, audio books, video courses. That's going to be our job, selfishly, because I got to get more positive messages out here. So, look at Bart. Bart running for president. Look at old Bart down there. Y'all see President Womack? Look at Bart down there. Y'all see him? He looking like Obama uncle. Oh, President Bart, Senator Bart Womack.
Appointment today, so I'm going to be off screen here.
No, this is cool, man. Senator Bart Womack. If we didn't see that picture, we would think he was the senator from North Dakota or something with your name. But when we see the photo, we say, look at this. This is presidential.
North Dakota. Oh, no.
No, this is incredible, man. But good to see you, Bart. And that picture is incredible, by the way. The pink tie, I had no idea. He's like Secret Service, But any other comments? I think that AJ, I don't know. I see you on mute.
You know what? I was just thinking about what you said about the putting the speeches and stuff on iTunes and all of that. And even having them out just for people to hear it, that'll be incredible. Working with event planners, one of the things that one of the concepts that they helped me with was just like musicians have their greatest hits, event planners want to hear speakers' greatest hits. So a lot of times we're scared because we've said the same speech, 10 times that, people don't want it. But that's actually why they hire speakers, because they want to hear their greatest hits. Like, well, Les Brown, you got to be hungry. Like, people hired for years just to hear that. And the poem, they said over and over again. So that'd be really good.
No, AJ, I think you bring up a really good point. Imagine if y'all went to a Beyonce concert and she sung none of her old songs. She only sung a new album. That'll be the worst concert ever because don't nobody know the lyrics. Right? You in there like, what? Anita Baker got a concert, but I don't know none of these songs. It's a waste of time. So you want to hear, that's why your signature talk is important, but also being able to get that message out to more people. The old saying of people don't need to be taught as much as they need to be reminded has never been more true. Because nowadays we have so many versions of the same message. A lot of times we just need to be reminded of the basics of what we should be doing. So we're going to try to be a catalyst of those reminders of the simple things. Number one, get on more stages, tell more people about what you do. Once you do that, ask those who are interested to raise their hand. Once they raise their hand, have something to sell them, right? That's what makes a great business person. And that's our mission, to turn speakers into great business owners. Um, and the only way we can do that is if we give you the tools to actually run and transact business. We will not settle for just selling you email addresses in order to email people. That's only the first part. Why? Because I'm a better salesperson than most people I know, and I'm not even sharing that information with y'all yet. You know, I mean, AJ is great selling from the stage. I mean, what he can teach you all about how to sell from the stage is incredible. I don't know anyone who's gotten, me personally, who's gotten more customers from podcast guesting than what I have. So I'll show you all that part. The ability to pull off webinars. I spent 9 weeks watching webinar trainings over and over and over just to learn how to do consistent high ticket webinars, where everyone else in the industry will tell you you have to have a sales meeting to sell things that cost more than $1,000. That used to be my thought until I started selling things that cost $8,000 from a webinar without ever meeting with the people. So your mindset can shift if you're given the right training and the right opportunity. You just have to be open to accepting that shift and knowing that it just takes time. So one of the things we're going to be looking at in 2025 as I close up is how do we find out what your income goals are and then backtrack into how can we help you to make those income goals come true. So if that means you get paid $1,000 per speech now, how many of those $1,000 speeches do you need to do to make it to replace your income? Okay, that's only if you're doing that. But what if you had a little course? How many of those do you need to be selling at the same time? And what if you had a higher ticket training or some type of consulting and other things that you could do to sell a different version of that speech? That way it becomes something that you could run as a sustainable business, not just as a hobby. Yeah, so we're working on these things. This is a big deal. Thanks for everyone who's been patient with us with the speaker launch formula launch, but I want to get all of these things in there. I don't want to half bake it. I want it to be right, and I want you all to be able to know that you'll be able to not only get booked on stages, but you'll have something to sell that you can be proud of. Like, ain't nothing better than having somebody like use your stuff and they're like, man, my shoulders do feel better. My posture is better. I don't, you start doing this on the meetings, if you can get the results, testimonials are what keep us going. So, any other questions as we kind of wind it down for the weekend and go into the holidays? This is exciting times, guys. I don't know if you know it, but it's super duper exciting. A lot of cool things on the horizon. I want 2025 to be your best years ever. Ange, what'd you see in the chat?
Dr. Karen said that it's a great idea that she has audiobooks, but not speeches that are on the platforms. But I just wanted to remind everyone, yep, AJ, that's exactly what I'm going to talk about. Next week, we will be here Monday, Thursday, and Friday. So not Tuesday and Wednesday. So not Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. We won't be here. And Leroy asked earlier about the replays. All of the replays are in the banner of our homepage of the SpeakerHub website. So if you missed some sessions, if you want to go back and listen to this one or any of the previous ones, we had some really, really great sessions where Ron taught a lot. It's in a playlist on YouTube. So you play one and just let them run. So it's in the chat as well. Here, I'll make sure everyone has it. Here's a link to the replays. You can listen to them all. And this one would be up by Monday.
Yeah, guys. So no, this is exciting. If you hear of any things or you come up with any ideas of things that you wish services that we provided at SpeakerHub, let us know. We have a lot on our to-do list, but confirmation that we're doing the right things is important. So one thing that AJ can tell you and Ange is if I talk about it public, it's happening. Okay? So, because I will hold on to something in private until I got it right. But if I talk about it publicly, it's happening. We're already moving in that direction. So it's an exciting time to be a speaker. Yeah, I'm sitting here thinking like, dude, like imagine the results when you can actually people can buy your stuff. Bananas. Yeah. All right. Any other questions? If not, we can hop off. We're gonna get done 7 minutes early today. You know. You remember your teacher would let you out of class early in high school. You'd be like, "Oh, we get out 10 minutes early," and you just get to get in the front of the line at the store before everybody else. That was the only thing you got. That was the difference. Any other questions before we go? All right. Well, hey, thanks again, guys. Hopefully you have a great weekend. Go and do all your Christmas shopping. For all the last minute Christmas shoppers like me, Christmas shopping starts for me on December 23rd. Every year, I go buy my last minute gifts. But I really appreciate everything you all have helped us out over the last 6 months in this transition. And we promise to make 2025 the best. So talk to you later.